In-state clash tonight in downtown Milwaukee. Green Bay makes the quick hour and 40-minute trek to Fiserv Forum to take on Marquette. With the coach, Steve Lavin, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Glad you're with us. Marquette and Justin Lewis landed the knockout blow on Friday night to topple previously fourth-ranked Wisconsin in dramatic fashion, I should say. The fearless freshman helped Marquette pick up that signature win. He was excellent a few nights ago.
Yes, and DJ Carton in his first start, the debut with Marquette, seamless in that transition in terms of orchestrating. And, of course, Green Bay with that three-headed attack. Jefferson, Davis, and Pipes can all shoot from long range, Kevin, so look for them to lock and load early.
You just saw them and the previously mentioned DJ Carton in the Jeep starting lineups, and away we go from inside Fiserv Forum. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday night. 13th meeting between Green Bay and Marquette. Separated by about an hour and 40-minute drive up Route 43. Kobe McEwen with his first look right at the rim, off the mark.
Well, Jefferson, Davis, and Pipes in their last game out against Eastern Illinois combined for 54 points and shot 9 of 19 from long distance. So those three had the green light for Green Bay.
A difficult double overtime defeat. Rejection at the rim from Theo John. He's the big man down low. Ultimate rim protector. Green Bay has lost a player on this possession. Josh Jefferson's playing with one shoe. This is John. Out to Carton, his first look from three. Jamal Cain snags the offensive board, stepped out of bounds. Nice job, Green Bay, who played with 9.5 shoes that time. So Will Ryan is in his first season at Green Bay. He was hired on June 7th, the son of the Hall of Famer Bo Ryan. So he carries the coaching torch in the state of Wisconsin, while Bo, he's playing golf out in California, as Will was telling us earlier today.
Yeah, out in the desert in La Quinta, enjoying life. Guarantee they're tuned in this evening to watch their son, and very proud of his career, a rising star in this business.
Previously the head coach at Wheeling, a Division II school in West Virginia. And his ties to the state proved to be too much to pass up as Green Bay made him their next basketball coach. There's the former Duke captain. He played there in the 90s, was an assistant for 15 years, took this job about 6.5 years ago. He would have likely led Marquette to their fourth straight postseason tournament had the NCAA tournament not been canceled back in March.
And Steve Wojciechowski pushing all the right buttons, not only this season, but coming into the season. The points of emphasis really have ramped up, elevated their defensive intensity, more tied together this year. And the numbers bear that out in terms of rankings defensively. And even his feel to start DJ Carton against rival Wisconsin. And the team settled down under Carton's direction on the floor, and some excellent playmaking and shot-making from Carton down the stretch against the Badgers.
He finds the McDonald's All-American Dawson Garcia, who gets the role.
Well, important that Garcia gets off to a good start, feels good about himself, and plays with some confidence. A lot of attention and focus on Garcia coming into this season. Marquette able to win without him performing well against the Badgers.
Jefferson's three is way off. It's a much more athletic, long, lengthy Marquette team this year. The one lost to a solid Oklahoma State team. And the signature win on Friday against the previously fourth-ranked Badgers. They kind of controlled the pace of that one, too, on Friday.
And there's no doubt this year, Marquette with more balance.
There's Pipes for three.
That's the marksmanship. These are some Phoenix that can bomb from range.
They are not shy about letting it go. John draws the foul on Paris Taylor, the junior from Tennessee. Transferred in from the junior college ranks. And Green Bay is going to give up some size, of course, today in this matchup. The key that Will Ryan is trying to instill in this group is let's not settle for the good shots if we can find a great shot as he tries to change up the offensive style in his first year as head coach.
And it takes time. Speaking to him today, the maturity and understanding that you need to be patient. Good take here by Carton.
And that's exactly what he could do.
Two defenders and finish off the glass. That's that shot making and playmaking. He made it look easy, but that was a difficult shot as he avoided picking up the offensive foul and put it down off the window.
Steve Wojciechowski says he puts so much pressure on defenses. That's exactly why. With the left hand, Japana Kellogg missed on his first look.
And Green Bay comes to help off this dribble penetration as Carton again turns down the screen. And he did that down the stretch in the second half against Wisconsin. And just a straight line drive, but good body control as well to finish.
I like that description. What'd you say, jackknife there to get in?
A little acrobatics.
No question. Carton's a sophomore, transfer from Ohio State. Left the program in January, was a highly coveted transfer. Jamal Cain with the flick. No. And here comes Pipes. So Marquette can't cash in after the turnover. And a rejection. Theo John timed that one up. Look at number 4 come flying in.
Well, John providing that help. He's the anchor of the oak tree under the basket. And really a presence at both ends of the floor for the Golden Eagles. Broad shoulders, good length, strength as well, and a consistent demeanor and maturity that really stabilizes this Marquette team.
Already with 2 blocks in not even 4 minutes. Pipes? No.
There's John with the rebound.
Here's Justin Lewis, the freshman for Baltimore. He got his shot swiped. Pipes knocks it out. Inbound underneath the hoop for Marquette in a moment.
Pipes here fully extended, avoids picking up the foul, and able to Spalding sandwich Justin Lewis with that block shot. All leather. Not even sure. Are they playing with a Spalding or is it a Wilson Jet or a Voigt? I'm going way back. Baden basketballs more recently. Yeah, I'm dating myself. Wilson Jet. That was the leather ball that we played with when I was in high school.
I feel like we've got a dissertation coming on the history of the basketball. Well, you're talking about these guards, right? PJ Pipes. Is that a Voigt? Wilson? What is that? Swish.
Looks like a bazooka from long range.
All knotted up at 4 early in this one. Justin Lewis, the precocious freshman, he introduced himself to the nation on Friday night. His game-winning tip-in against Wisconsin was the shot heard around Milwaukee.
I didn't think he was going to miss it. I was looking at the floor. But then when I looked up, I knew the guy who was boxing me out. He wasn't really like boxing me out the whole game out real hard. So I knew I was gonna have a chance, and I tapped it in, and that was the game.
You know, so many interesting elements to this final play. The fact that Lewis was able to slide in, and then the presence of mind with the time. If you take a look here at the fingertip control, it never gets into his palm, which allows him, given the limited time, to just take it right up the fingertip control and basically shot the ball from a one-handed tip position. And so many elements there: dexterity, hand-eye coordination, poise, presence of mind, intelligence, that are all on display just on that final dramatic game-winning shot.
I mean, how incredible is that from a freshman? And Wojo mentioned it post-game. He goes, just the mindset to, number one, play through the horn with .9 left is incredible. Anticipate the miss, and the presence of mind not to come down with a catch and just tip it in.
Yeah, and he got a low base, a center of gravity that allowed him to get closer to the rim. Nice take by Green Bay.
Yep, Pipes answers the McEwen make. So they're trading baskets early.
And you're seeing the quickness of this three-guard attack. They could put it on the deck. They can rip cords from long distance. And they're feeling better about themselves, even in a defeat, because they shot the ball well against Eastern Illinois. And, of course, the opportunity to play on a big stage and in-state against a team from the Big East. So they're ready and well-prepared, which is what you'd expect from Coach Ryan.
Green Bay out of the Horizon League faced Minnesota and those aforementioned Badgers the opening 2 games of the year. Very challenging start, and then, yes, played Eastern Illinois tough, battled into double overtime, scored 91 points. It was their best shooting night of the season, as you would expect, hitting better than 50% from the field. And that's enough to sharpen you and build the motivation for their next time out. Terrence Thompson into the game, as well as Lucas Stieber.
See the high and wide spacing.
Wow, Pipes has nailed a couple early threes.
Boy, comfortable, and the quick trigger. The handles, the footwork to get squared, and an excellent release coming off those middle 3 fingers. Good rotation on that shot.
Is the senior. John spins and wins.
Yeah, so comfortable in the basket area in single coverage. If help doesn't come, Theo John going to go to work.
He's one of the 3 seniors in Marquette's starting lineup. Seniors that will be asked to do more offensively in the post-Marcus Howard era. Davis missed everything.
Well, going back to your point there with Howard, as well as Annam and Bailey, 3 that moved on. And it's a more collective approach, more of a democratic approach offensively this year. And that makes Marquette more difficult to prepare for and, more importantly, more difficult to play against because of the balance, the distribution of shots.
Lewis with the offensive rebound, fights in. Dawson tip, yes.
Big fella, using that size at 6'11" and his length to get that putback like a volleyball player at the net. Use that length, and that's the way to contribute and add value aside from just taking jump shots, because at 6'11", you want to move him around the floor, and he needs to put himself in position to get putbacks.
He's whistled for his first foul. There he is, number 33.
You mentioned
freshman from right outside of Minneapolis.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. The length of this team, that was an example offensively, being able to see over the top, play over the top, or get a putback. Second chance opportunity, but you're also seeing it defensively because they're causing havoc on opponents, and their defensive numbers, we'll take a look at them later, their rankings are impressive. They're as improved a team defensively as any that I've seen this season.
Very efficient, and that's where this team is a step ahead than some of Wojo's prior squads. Defensively, it might be his most versatile defensive team.
And the depth, fouls to use, they can sustain, not that you want to foul, but if you get some foul trouble, they have enough depth now coming off the bench where they can sustain the level of play that they hope to throughout this season.
Lewis wants 3. Second effort from Dexter Acano, and he earns himself some free throws.
When you're seeing a concerted effort by Marquette to get on the glass, take advantage of their size, length, and strength over the more diminutive Green Bay Phoenix.
Already 5 offensive rebounds.
And sometimes the best shot's a missed shot. When you do have the size and length, you can play volleyball on the backboards, put a team in foul jeopardy, get high percentage shots, get yourself to the free throw line.
Three-point lead for Marquette.
You're going to see the Phoenix with good spacing, constant ball movement and man movement, and they'll use the bounce, but they want it to be purposeful, not to massage it or waste it.
Jefferson follows his Smith. Carton stripped it away. Lewis posting. Instead, a reset. This is Symir Torrance left wide open.
Yeah, solid defense there by Green Bay. Didn't give Marquette any angles. Leveled off all dribble penetration, pushing the ball sideline to sideline. Nothing north-south. Good pass and finish.
Terrence tops it.
Well, that's textbook offensive possession there. And they'll move and look for a shot if it presents. And if they don't get a good look, that's where they get deeper into the clock, get more touches, and give themselves a chance.
And the Phoenix have the basketball after the turnover, within one on the road. Tonight's the 13th meeting all time between Marquette and Green Bay. The last time these two teams squared off, it was the Phoenix that rose above the Golden Eagles. And, remember, Tony Bennett played here for his father. That looked like a Virginia score. 49-47 was the final. Kiefer Sykes had the big game for the Phoenix. Now Marquette leads the overall series 9-3. But I mentioned the Bennetts. Remember, Dick Bennett had this program rolling in the 90s. His son played for him. That's some of the images that Green Bay fans remember of a packed Crest Center and winning basketball in Green Bay that they're trying to replicate moving forward.
So interesting that two of the great coaches in Wisconsin history, earned their stripes, paid their dues. Dick Bennett and Bo Ryan, both Hall of Fame coaches, but they got their break at the Division I level later in life, but they were prepared for sustained success because they had mastered their craft, able to learn through trial and error and kind of work in their laboratory, to use the metaphor, as a teacher and coach before they stepped into the Big Ten. And, of course, in 2000, Dick Bennett led the Badgers to a Final Four, and Bo Ryan, the back-to-back Final Four appearances as well. There's something to be said for teaching and working at your craft through the years at lower levels, and then getting that opportunity later.
That's got to mean something, right? Especially as you work your way up, kind of the pay-your-dues sort of path that really benefits staffs and players over the years.
Yeah, and you're not in the glare of the national spotlight.
Right.
And so you're able to tinker and explore. Here's a future coaching star, good bloodlines. Talking to him today, I like that not only has his father been the most significant influence in his life and in coaching, but also good putback there by Theo John. The back down, using the size and strength and padding his stats with the second shot, Moses Malone style. But he also, Coach Ryan, has borrowed, from his other influences. He played for Bruce Pearl as well, and was a video coordinator at Wisconsin. And so, like adding to your cookbook, borrowing recipes, integrating into your own cookbook with your own style and what you're comfortable with. There's sharing the basketball. That's what Coach Ryan wants at Green Bay. And the good spacing allows those foot races and has Marquette's defense spread because of the threat of the shot, lead to those shots on the interior.
The latest basket for Jim Kirchemon, the Turk. Freshman. DJ Carton misfires. That's the advantage for Green Bay in the early goings. 3 triples. Marquette is 0 of 6 from deep. And we've seen it. You'll watch the basketball. A lot of movement on this end of the
floor. And look how precise the passes are in terms of velocity and putting it into players' wheelhouse or their shooting pocket. And, of course, they give away some size, but, they'd like to be able to knock down threes or get layups. That's ideally what you want, and they've done that for the most part.
Garcia, jump step, basket. Give him one more. The 4-star recruit and McDonald's All-American looking for the conventional three-point play.
Well, Garcia struggled some against Oklahoma State and again against Wisconsin. But here he's been more aggressive, and I like the balance there. Like a cat, he slammed on the brakes, he jump stopped, and gathered so he could go up stronger, absorb the hit, the foul, and still finish with good concentration, eyes on rim. And we didn't see that in the previous 2 games against Oklahoma State or Wisconsin.
7 points last time out, just 4 against Oklahoma State. Is this a game for someone like Garcia as a freshman to say, yeah, I'm going to be a little stronger. I'm going to look for my shots a bit more in a game like tonight?
Well, I think you learn, with each game there's a report card. And when you get a failing grade, you want to go back to work, improve upon those deficiencies. And by watching game film with the staff and then getting on the floor and working on those things during the practice, leading up to a game, you're more mindful. You're focused on being more aggressive with your catches, getting your footwork organized when you take it to the rim, expecting contact.
John, easy spin and off the window. He has 6 early points for the Golden Eagles.
Well, John, each season, just more confidence. And, of course, this year you see this Marquette team. They're sharing the basketball. Everyone getting touches.
There's Amari Davis.
Nice take through the lane, the quickness, the ball handling on display.
He leads Green Bay with about 15 points per game. Garcia for 3 rips the court.
Well, and that's what happens. You do some work on the inside, the basket area. You pick up some fouls by attacking the rim. Now a team has to honor those drives, and that opens up the perimeter.
Inside and out. When you go to work inside, it opens up the outside too.
Big fella going to work. Little spin move. He's got that footwork down low. How about Garcia? Little screen, pop, quick release, bottoms. Timeout.
Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep. There's only one. Marquette with a 6-point lead as we push later into the first half. Steve Wojciechowski, the 7th-year boss, not totally pleased with some of his team's defensive efforts in the early minutes.
Yeah, I think Coach Wojciechowski making a point of emphasis here. They've been so much better defensively. Here he is bringing the fire, and of course, he feels there wasn't the stance, the vision on the help side defense. That's what allowed Amari Davis to blow by an uncontested slow rotation or help defensively by Marquette led to a little bit of a conniption by Coach Wojciechowski.
Yeah.
But that's why they're better. He's demanding a level of defense that he knows this team is capable of. They can be special defensively, and at some point we're going to take a look at the numbers this year and the rankings defensively, and they are dramatically improved. I think as improved as anyone in the country, coast to coast, defensively.
Jefferson misfires. What is it? We're only a few games in, but where's that step forward defensively coming from?
I think, first of all, personnel. This group has better feet laterally. Defensively, they also have tremendous length, and then they're working on it. They're doing the drill work. They're creating the better habits in terms of tracing the ball, contesting jump shots, screening out, and rebounding. And so there's also the cumulative effect of the practices and watching game film and building better habits.
Davis is doing an exceptional job thus far getting into the paint. So these are the defensive ranks for Marquette. They're Big East rankings. And best scoring defense and holding teams to just 33% shooting from the field, 26% from beyond the arc in the early goings. And a lot of that was evident against Wisconsin on Friday.
No doubt. And you look, even tonight, he wasn't happy. He's asking for more. He's bringing the fire, being demonstrative in his timeouts in terms of his teaching. And yet they're holding Green Bay to 3 of 11, 27% from the three-point line and 36% overall. But you're not coaching for solely the Green Bay game. You're looking down the line in terms of conference play, in terms of the postseason, in terms of wanting to play a championship-level defense. And that's the bar, the standard that he's trying to set here at Marquette.
Amari Davis is Green Bay's best scorer. He leads them at more than 15 points a game. He broke the freshman scoring record last year. One guess who had the record previously. We brought his name up before. Tony Bennett. There you go.
And not the one that sang I Left My Heart in San Francisco?
No.
We're talking about the crooner, one of the great voices of all time. Speaking of longevity, we talked about Bo Ryan and Dick Bennett. But how about Tony Bennett? Still performing in his, 90s?
Have we ever given the Tony Bennett in Charlottesville a mic here? Let's try him out on vocals.
Could be another career.
You know, the name, you expect quite a bit from Tony, considering the name. I can tell you're a musician at heart. You play the guitar? Are you on the vocals?
No, I just had parents that loved music, loved cinema. And so I grew up in a family where you had to know your jazz, swing, classical, bossa nova, rock. That was my parents' love of music.
That Acano shot was kind of like the disc scratching there. That missed everything.
They weren't fans of the more contemporary genres of music, but I was fortunate to have older parents that did teach me the history of music and cinema, among other subjects.
And you taught them the history of the basketball.
You know, my dad actually had a pretty good feel for the game. You can see why Coach Ryan prefers this three-guard attack. He gives away some size, but as they continue to improve and have better chemistry in terms of playing with one another and acclimate to Coach Ryan's system and style of play, they're going to be a handful in conference.
P.J. Pipes, who just hit that last jumper, now has 10 points for Will Ryan's team. He's in a double figures and a 2-point game with 5:25 to go.
Well, what I like about P.J. Pipes, not only a great name, but can shoot the ball, score in a variety of ways. He helps on the boards, over 5 rebounds per game, and then distributes it, shares the sugar at 4 assists per game. So he's a complete basketball player on the offensive end of the floor.
This is Torrance back at the free throw line to give Marquette a 4-point advantage. Pipes is the lone senior who has been here all 4 years. This Green Bay roster features 10 newcomers. 8 freshmen have played already this year. It is wildly untested. And yet they're hanging tough with Marquette late in the first. Jefferson on the pull-up. Yes.
Nice.
Good, clean-looking shots as well.
Yeah, got right to the kill spot, the elbow, the mid-range for the stop and pop.
Torrance, count it, and one more. The sophomore from Syracuse, New York, back at the line.
16-5, +1 to the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Green Bay slow to rotate. And Torrance able to go in for the easy deuce.
Torrance, the traditional pass-first point guard. He adds depth at that position with DJ Carton. Thompson. That one didn't just hit the side of it, that hit the top of the backboard.
Well, and Marquette on that possession, some recent possessions here, they're starting to sprinkle in a little bit of zone defense. Just a different look, and also shows the respect they have for Green Bay in terms of their ball movement, man movement, ability to create off the bounce, and the smaller attack has caused Marquette some troubles here in the first half.
Lewis, unselfish, out to McEwen for 3.
Presence of mind there by Lewis. So comfortable, and again, surveying the floor, investigating, and looking for the best options. and very poised. And that was a skip pass diagonal to the deep corner.
Pipes is left open. Deep three. Rattles another one home. P.J. Pipes with 3 triples, 5 of 7 from the field, and a game-high 13.
May I say, piping hot. But I'm pumped. It's late.
I can't believe we've lasted 16 and a half minutes. I thought I was going to get that one sooner.
There's so many ways you can go with Pipes.
The senior from Woodridge, Illinois.
You have great pipes. Speaking of pipes of another sort, broadcasting pipes, those count too.
We're getting Lavin after dark here.
Well, it is.
Can we start that hashtag?
It is past my bedtime.
Well, not West Coast time. That's a 3 from deep. And another one goes down. This time it's Jefferson. 5 triples for the Phoenix.
Well, and you could tell Coach Wojciechowski in that timeout was concerned and didn't feel his team was playing with the necessary sense of urgency. And that's what a coach can feel in terms of intuition that sometimes young people don't. Younger players have to learn that often the hard way. And the natural thinking right now is this a letdown? Coming off the big win at the buzzer against your rival Wisconsin.
Forces, but banks it in.
A little happy birthday.
Kobe McEwen, the senior from Toronto, flailing.
Looked like he was trying to draw the foul. Little lift fake. Throws it up. The ATM is open in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee, Marquette, fresh off its victory against 4th-ranked Wisconsin, leads by 7. P.J. Pipes, 3 triples tonight. The senior from Illinois.
The confidence from their last game out against Eastern Illinois. Pipes able to drain one in almost the exact same spot. That's the hot spot for Green Bay as Jefferson lines one up, sends it to the clouds, tickles the twine.
You highlighted these guards for Green Bay, and that's the scoring attack this year. A lot is going to be done through Pipes, Jefferson, and Davis, the most experienced players. They all can step out and shoot.
Well, and those 3 have combined here in the first half for 26 points. Last game out, they combined for 54 points. And they were 9 of 19 last game out. So now we're starting to see a trend that this is a good shooting team that will only improve with more reps and more time.
Marquette hasn't played poorly on the offensive end, really, but a step slow contesting some of these shots late in the shot clock, and Davis is going to have to do something. Pipes, this will be a long... Well, no. Did they get it off? Just in time.
Yeah, the shot clock awareness not in play on that possession by Green Bay.
That 3 is left short. And here's Pipes.
Yeah, Garcia didn't secure the ball, but I like the effort, again, to get on the glass, use his size. Here he is scrambling back. Here's the ball reversal, the look inside. Good screening on the backside as well.
Davis got a good look inside. You know, if you're in this position as a coach, remember, Marquette has those 3 seniors. This is almost when at halftime you want those encouraging voices to come out, right?
No doubt. And Garcia from long distance.
He's hit a few of those, now 13 points, his second triple in the first half.
Yeah, torching the nets. And that's what he'll give you at 6'11". They can slide him inside. He can be a presence in the basket area. Comfortable putting it on the floor as well. And then long range. So can score in all 3 areas.
He's averaging 11 and a half a game over the first 4 nights. Jefferson. Swish!
Sweet.
Timeout, Marquette.
Now, those are well defended. You know, sometimes you get a breakdown defensively, a wide open shot, but Jefferson here just feeling it. The heat check, catch, little footwork, one bounce, pull up, bottoms.
Coming up on the Jeep halftime report. Top Big East newcomers. Yeah, you're going to be hearing a bit more about Dawson Garcia. Also, first half stats and analysis from this one, and then around the Big East as well. Creighton falling by 1 earlier to Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse. That was a really good game between two top 10 opponents. All right, 4 seconds left. What's going on here?
Well, Coach Wojciechowski working on a play here, a teaching opportunity. Carton with one bounce, 2, 3 bounces. Should be able to get to the rim, but good defense.
McEwen just wide.
And a good job there, Kevin, by Green Bay to not allow Carton to get to the basket, leveled off that dribble penetration, basically showed him a crowd.
Well, Carton, how about this one from earlier? He's found the hottest hand in half number 1 for the Golden Eagles. Dawson Garcia with 13. His team is up by 7 at the break. And Milwaukee tonight, Marquette hosting Green Bay with a 7-point lead over the Phoenix. Half number 2 about to get started with Coach Lavin. And Coach, early on it was Dawson Garcia had the hot hand.
Yeah, well deployed offensively. Put him down low where he could feel good about himself by scoring on the interior. Then you step away and you start to tickle twine from distance. And Pipes feeling it tonight, effective 5 of 7 from the field. And then this is just ridiculous. Jefferson lifting one up to the clouds, bottoms of the net.
How about that trio? Pipes, Jefferson, and Davis, the 3 guards for the Phoenix, were excellent. Both teams shot well, 44% from the field. Green Bay hit a couple more threes, and that's kept them in this game.
Yeah, no doubt. The threes have been critical to Green Bay's success, and the second chance points there, 8-0 for Marquette because of their size and length, and then also emphasizing let's get on the boards and get putbacks. After all, that is how they won their last game against Wisconsin.
The rise of these Phoenix guards. Coach, how about this? 29 of Green Bay's 33 points in the first half.
Well, that small ball approach, when you've got interchangeable parts, 3 players who can knock down shots from distance, can create off the bounce to play make, or take it all the way in and make good judgments, whether to shoot or pass to a teammate. It puts a lot of pressure on defenses, and it distorts opponents' defenses because the threat of that shot, the three-pointer, forces you to extend, and that opens up the inside, it opens up back cuts, it opens up driving lanes for guards.
He's Steve Lavin. I'm Kevin Fitzgerald. Glad you're with us for half number 2 at Fiserv Forum. It wasn't like it was a dull first half by any stretch of the imagination for Marquette. The Eagles shot the ball well, and I'm sure Steve Wojciechowski would have expected maybe a little bit of a larger lead considering some of the things they did offensively. That first look is off the mark.
Yeah, I think offensively, Marquette's concentration is there. They only have 2 turnovers. It's not like they're sloppy or throwing the ball all over the yard. They're facing a team that came to play tonight in Green Bay.
DJ Carton with the left hand misfires. He's 1 of 4 from the field. Justin Lewis, the precocious freshman who we spotlighted right off the top, went scoreless in the first half. And Pipes misses everything.
And sometimes it's not physical, but emotionally, you use fuel coming off that big rivalry game and the dramatic finish. And as a coach, you try and fight that. You don't want to have an emotional letdown, but you are expending energy and fuel. And they're 18 to 22-year-olds. And so someone might say, they should be able at that age to play triple headers in the same day. But that's where maturity comes in, learning how to expend your fuel, how to get your rest between games, how to recharge, and take care of yourself to recover for that next game.
John had it jarred away. Davis pushing. Back to to Jefferson, left wing three, down and out.
They got a good look. Just didn't go down.
Well, you referenced the physicality of the Wisconsin game on Friday. It felt like a tense and physical one. You know, that was an ice bath game after that one for a lot of players.
Oh, no doubt. And you strive for consistency, but we all know inherently 18 to 22-year-olds are not always performing in a consistent manner. McEwen comfortable operating, playing at a pace, a little more under control this year.
Kellogg contested closely by John that time in the paint. McEwen is Marquette's leading scorer. He's into double figures for the fourth time this year. John's got the ball, posting. Had it stripped again.
Brought the ball down in traffic.
Jefferson scoop, no.
Jefferson on that miss needs to hustle back defensively because here comes Marquette. They got numbers, and Will Ryan will address that in film work, film study tomorrow. If not later tonight when they get home late.
And Garcia with 15. Kellogg, left hand, fouled. Free throws coming.
Green Bay, short leg and caught napping in transition. Not getting back with a sense of urgency, and Carden finds Garcia, seeing that he has the positive math, the numbers in transition. He alertly surveys the floor and delivers it to the big fella.
Here's Japana Kellogg, the redshirt freshman who grew up in the shadows of Hilton Coliseum from Ames. He is one of the 8 freshmen who have played for Will Ryan already. Lewis back in and replaces Theo John. Will Ryan, I could tell from our discussion with him earlier, very grateful for the opportunity to be back in Wisconsin. His connections and relationships in this state are so wide-ranging, and I think Green Bay discovered it had a chance to bring back someone who was Wisconsin through and through, and they didn't want to miss the opportunity. McEwen with his second basket in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about playing at pace. Here, a little hesitation, and then gathers, able to elevate, put it down off the window. That hesitation dribble, that change of pace, sometimes freezes the defense, and the defense lifts up out of their stance. They stop sliding their feet, and then that's when you can blow by for the easy deuce. With full court, three-quarter pressure by Marquette, giving a different look. Well, I think Marquette can play multiple defenses because of their personnel and their depth and their length.
Harris Taylor sinks his first shot.
And good ball movement. Marquette first with the press and then some trapping. And Green Bay took advantage of it. Play a little hot potato, find the open man for the easy bucket.
This is going the other way. It's an offensive foul on Lewis.
A quiet night for Lewis, but again, 18, 19-year-olds. There will be some peaks and valleys, and to this point, this is the first game where he hasn't really imposed his will and been productive at both ends of the floor. So he's showing that he's human. And that's the luxury. You know, Lewis quiet, but Garcia more productive, and excellent offense by Green Bay on display.
Kellogg again. One of the Green Bay freshmen. And the foul takes us to a timeout. Dawson Garcia with 15 for Marquette. Golden Eagles ahead at home.
Some good ball movement here by Green Bay. as they move the ball. Let's take a look over here. We're going to see a little breakdown defensively, and this is an example going against a zone defense. Kellogg just post up against the zone, and so often a zone will stymie teams because they stand around, they stop moving, and they fail to post up, carve out some space. And that was an example of Justin Lewis also not bringing some man-to-man principles within your zone. You can't let someone flash the ball like that. You got to brush deny, we call windshield wiper, get those hands out and contest those passing lanes. Also have to have better pressure on the ball. You can't allow, like a prevent defense, which will prevent you from winning, to not have that ball pressure. And as a result, they're able to window shop and get the easy bucket by Kellogg.
That's the strength of this Marquette defense this year, is its length, the wingspan, the reach, the athleticism. But meanwhile, Green Bay keeps it a manageable deficit. It's 11 points now after Carton's free throws. This is the largest lead of the night by Marquette. They led by 7 at half, and not much more in half number 1. Thanks to the Phoenix's shot making, they have remained in this. And now Kellogg attacking, nearly banked that one home.
Yeah, 2 or 3 layups. They were halfway down, looked as though they were going to be field goals, just haven't gone down, and that's one of the reasons Marquette is extending this lead.
Lewis looking for his first basket of the night. To Kane for 3.
Lewis there, comfortable off the bounce, not forcing. Playing inside out, just yo-yo it to the perimeter for the easy look.
Even without a field goal, Lewis making an impact, a couple of assists.
Yeah, he looks a little gassed.
Score the basket, and Jefferson with one more coming at the line.
And Lewis there, not to pick on the young fella. This is a lesson. School is in session. Just slow to rotate. Carton allows Jefferson to turn the corner, get an angle, and then Marquette slow to help, and the closest help defender there that should slide and then build a wall, plug a hole, was Justin Lewis.
And so the Jefferson three-point play negates the Kane triple a moment ago. 11-point game in Milwaukee. Garcia, good position. Got that one pinned off the window. Jefferson
coming from behind.
Here's Pipes. Hits from 15.
They get down the floor in a hurry with their quickness. A nice stop and pop. Alert defense there by Green Bay. They're dropping in, as we say, like ninjas in the dark. To help on the post, almost like a Venus flytrap or bees on honey. Find a way to provide help when you're undersized playing a team like Marquette. And then you got to scramble back out on the perimeter to guard shooters as well. It's tough. You got to be able to do both when you're facing a balanced team.
And the much smaller Green Bay team in terms of height has 3 blocks tonight. Tip in, score it. Kellogg a bit more active on the glass. He was sitting much of the first with foul trouble, and the impact is starting to grow. 7-point game again. That's a 7-0 run.
Yeah, Marquette just a step slow, whether it's boxing out or helping on defense or sliding to contain dribble penetration. And this is an example of being a step slow, not as alert or aggressive as we saw against Wisconsin. Good maneuvering, dribble penetration by Jefferson. It doesn't go down, but that dribble penetration allows the big fella to slide in and get that tip. A little of their own medicine that Green Bay is giving Marquette here, getting on the glass.
Are you surprised by the ability of Green Bay to get into the paint as often as it has tonight?
I think it's a concerted effort. You know, they're showing the discipline, turning down some shots to try and get a better shot, which Coach Will Ryan talked about today when we spoke with him. And crisp ball movement here as well.
Pipes another.
Now everyone getting a touch. And when you do that, you got a little rhythm. Might have been a technical foul out there. We'll have to talk about it when we get back.
P.J. Pipes, 18 points and counting. Welcome back to FS1 College Hoops. It's sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Green Bay back within 4. Coach, what's this Phoenix team doing well on offense?
Well, Green Bay in the midst of a 10-0 run, playing some defense and offense. And watch this team as they get touches. Green Bay sharing the basketball and squaring up, just making good reads, not forcing, turning down what would be an average shot for a better shot. A good movement without the ball. Again, reversing it. Little Gene Hackman here with 6 passes like the Hoosiers back in the day, and that great film. And then, guess what? The hot hand still piping hot. P.J. Pipes.
Yeah. Ollie's not coming in anytime soon for Pipes. He's got 18, 7 of 10 from the field, and that was his 4th triple. And now Marquette on its heels. Oh, on that side of the rim, McEwen finishes. Kept the pivot foot. And a senior from Toronto now has 15.
Yeah, and a tough spot to pick the ball up under the basket along the baseline, but he kept his poise, and as you said, kept the pivot foot, and then found an opening.
Taylor forced it. Good defense from Garcia. And that time, you didn't see the ball movement. Went into the paint, and not the cleanest of looks. Jamal Cain feeds Garcia, spins off the glass, tipped on the floor, and Thompson corrals it.
What happens, on that last replay? When everyone touches the ball, they're feeling a part of it. You're working in concert, and shooting percentages go up when you get touches, and you also get yourself to the foul line more often along the way. Pipes picks up a foul. McEwen, little hesitation dribble, jump stop, reverse pivots, taking a look, probing. Here's some daylight. Why not? Put it down. Timeout.
Green Bay hasn't beaten a major conference opponent in 6 years. It's within 6, Coach. And this Phoenix team, they're fearless on offense where they're getting their looks.
The 1-2 punch, Pipes and Jefferson combining for 32 points and a variety of ways. The stop and pop, the drive straight to the hoop there. Kellogg able to get the one-handed tap, put back, and Pipes feeling it, shooting at a big target right now, in rhythm with confidence. And a quieter night for Amari Davis. But those 3, dynamic.
Pipes with a game-high 19. I referenced their last win against a major conference opponent. It was December of 2014. They went down to Miami, beat a ranked Hurricanes team. This Green Bay program is always at the top of the Horizon League. They last went to the NCAA tournament 4.5 years ago, but 7 of the last 8 years, they have finished among the top 4 in the Horizon League, always in the discussion for that auto bid. Big time and timely 3 for McEwen.
Well, I like the fact that Marquette as a group intelligently goes back to the hot hand. McEwen in a good place right now offensively and feeling it, and a little of that NBA flavor in play for Marquette as they go right back to him.
He contests the 3. Pipes misfires. And Torrance taps it to Cain. McEwen has 18 points. He's nailed 3 triples. John finds him. Spin, scoop, foul. And McEwen is going to the line for the 2nd time tonight. Foul on Thompson. Steve Wojciechowski says the jump offensively this year for McEwen is certainly night and day. The last several years, Marcus Howard being option A, B, and C essentially. McEwen much more comfortable, and when you know you have a little bit more of a role as well offensively, that's going to help.
Yeah, that democratic approach. The distribution more equal in terms of shot attempts, and it's very difficult for opponents to really key up in preparation for Marquette, because they've got 7 or 8 players capable of getting to double figures. And so it's a balanced approach. McEwen right now is clearly the hot hand, and again, they're playing through him, but there are 6 or 7 players that you can play through when you look at Steve Wojciechowski's options. A luxury to have the depth.
That's going back to Marquette. Late in the shot clock, Green Bay got a little sloppy passing the ball. And the lead has swelled back to 9 after Will Ryan's club had cut it back to a 4-point game a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you got to close the distance down between passer and receiver. Stieber there with the turnover, but he makes up for it by getting the ball back himself.
And a jam! Paris Taylor!
Hello!
Hello indeed.
How about Stieber there? The alertness, pick up the ball, push it down the floor, and then hit the trailer.
McEwen. Yes!
Well, McEwen, the one-man show. Feeling it here in the second half. And again, I like the willingness of this Marquette team, the selflessness to continue to go back to the teammate that's got the hot hand.
He has just matched his career high, 23 points. That one is smothered. John and Garcia all over pipes. And there's Jefferson poked it away, so a couple careless turnovers on this, and that's the 8th Marquette turnover. 3 more than Green Bay.
Well, if you're Green Bay, you're trying to creep back in to this game, close the deficit. And Marquette's trying to extend that lead. They haven't been able to push it to that next stage as you work towards salting a victory away.
That was not the man to leave open a moment ago. Jefferson has hit 3 from beyond the arc. Past the midway mark, second half. Marquette trying to get to 4-1. Garcia blocked. Thompson went straight up. Stieber. That's good. The Phoenix will not go away.
Well, excellent open court alertness, passing the ball to the open man. Not forcing, just what Will Ryan talked about this afternoon in our conversation with him.
An inspiring effort tonight by Green Bay. The 8 3-pointers has helped the visiting club from right up the road remain in this one deep into the second half.
Well, Green Bay with 8 3-pointers. Jefferson with the dribble penetration sees he's blanketed defensively, kicks it out to Stieber, who lines it up. Great rotation. Middle 3 fingers in the seams, and as a result, an excellent lift on that shot.
Lucas Stieber, the freshman, a.k.a. Tony Bennett's nephew. Bounce pass, Lewis twisting in the air and finishes. That's his first field goal.
Oh, McEwen there with an excellent pass as well.
Third assist for McEwen. He's got the game-high 23. Another nice bounce pass. Second chance, off the mark. Kellogg has 2 free throws. Kobe McEwen, coach, he is heating up at half number 2 for Marquette.
Yeah, doing it in a variety of ways. In the basket area, from long range and the mid-range.
Marquette leads by 9, shooting 62% from the field in the second half. It feels like it's all been Kobe McEwen, though.
It's the Kobe McEwen show, and they're working off the screen comfortable to the mid-range and then straight to the rim for the finish off that hesitation dribble in the deep corner after moving well without the ball. The catch and shoot opportunity here out top, able to knock one down as well. So he scored 10 straight points before that Garcia layup, and I can guarantee that Will Ryan is talking to his team about staying attached to McEwen. Got to have better awareness and help defense off the bounce, but then also a high hand on his shot. Someone needs to shut his water off.
He started at Utah State, a 2-year starter there, transferred to Marquette, where he's been a 2-year starter his last 2 seasons. He's played in a lot of games, quite a bit of experience. He is Marquette's, at least at this point, top offensive option.
Well, and Kobe McEwen showed flashes of brilliance during his time at Marquette, more of a scorer at Utah State. So we've seen his capability. There have just been some stretches where he was a bit uneven in terms of shooting and at times some turnovers. But you can see he's playing purposeful basketball. Wow.
A beeline to the rim.
That's that hesitation, craftiness. Carton almost lulls defenders to sleep. A little lullaby, rockabye baby, hypnotizes them, and then blows by.
That 3 is strong from Kirchemont. Second chance bucket for Kellogg.
Well, Kellogg very active here in the second half, getting on the glass. He has a quick second jump as well. Gets off the floor second time before his defender gets off the ground once.
Now Carton wants 3 and hits it.
Well, this is where Marquette, because they're balanced, they can take turns and find the open man and play off a number of Golden Eagles.
Jefferson missed it right at the rim. And then a foul after the miss.
Carton able to maneuver and just split Green Bay defenders. Will Ryan won't be happy with that defensive rotation here. Again, the lullaby. And Theo John up there playing a 2-man game. Little opening. Defender goes under. Stop and pop.
Theo John. Righty hook shot. And now Marquette has it back to a 14-point advantage, the largest of the evening with 6:30 to go.
Jim Kirchemont needs to be more of a presence when he does get minutes in terms of providing resistance.
Kellogg sinks it. Kellogg has played much better in the second half, has hit a bunch of shots. All 9 of his points after half. This is a Green Bay squad with virtually an entirely new roster. McEwen nails it. 25 points. It's a new career high for the senior.
Yeah, it's at a point where you've got to do something defensively. Force him to catch the ball further away from the basket where he's not in his operational area. Prevent him from getting the catch in the first place. Because he's at a point right now where he's so comfortable. He can't wait to get another touch.
Pipes just can't miss tonight. He's now 8 of 12 from the field. And 22 for the senior, a new career high.
8 of 12 from the floor. So, again, not a high-volume shooter. He doesn't need to be a high-volume shooter to score a lot of points. He's efficient.
McEwen, another triple.
Yeah, maybe defensively, easier said than done, but deny him, force him to back cut off the top of the floor. Maybe double when it comes to on-ball screens, to try something else to disrupt, get him out of the flow that he's in offensively in terms of confidence.
Keep an eye on 25 in white, bottom right corner of the screen. Instead, it may be Carton going to work. Bumped on the way in. It is a foul, offensive foul on Carton. He swung the right arm.
Third personal.
Boy, Green Bay is down 15, sure, but there's been a nice display of shot making from the Phoenix, especially from Pipes, who is poised for a fine senior season. Marquette, boy, it has had to battle for this 15-point lead. It really has earned it.
Yeah, there's been some punch, counter-punch runs by both these teams. And if you're Green Bay, you want to stretch this game out. extend it, try and creep back in, give yourself a chance with a minute or so to be back in this game. And the flip side, Marquette wants to extend this lead, salt the victory away.
So let's go back to McEwen for a second. The 28-point outburst. You've been there. Marcus Howard moves on. You've had rosters where the leading scorer from a year ago is gone, and there's just a mindset shift for kind of the next man up, right? What does that look as McEwen prepares for this season?
Well, you have players that now transition into different roles. Complementary pieces now become primary offensive pieces to the puzzle, and that's what Steve Wojciechowski and his staff are doing. They're finding out with each practice and each game and watching game film, what they have and how to best deploy them, how to best use them in terms of their rotations, in terms of their offensive sets and alignments. And Marquette has tremendous personnel, high marks on the recruiting front. And it's a nice blend of young players that have come into the program, are going to help immediately, and some veteran players, transfers as well. Steve Wojciechowski has got a squad this year that can not only make the tournament, but win games in the tournament.
It's wild to think that conference play begins in a couple weeks. That's it. One more non-conference game for Marquette. And many of these Big East programs, that's going to be on the road at UCLA on Friday. And then look out, because game number 1 in conference for Marquette on the road in Omaha against Creighton, who nearly handed Kansas a loss in Lawrence earlier today. Another 3-ball, this time it's Jamal Cain from the corner. He loves that corner tray, and he has 8. And Marquette looking to go pedal to the metal to the finish line with less than 4 to go. Step back 3, and Jefferson missed everything. Kellogg spins. Rebound, John. McEwen on the pull-up. John kept it alive. It's into Amari Davis's hands. And blocked. Theo John with his 3rd rejection of the evening. Cain for 3. Foul inside. And it may have been against Garcia. Oh, it's been a heck of a second half.
Little two-man game. Gets the dribble handoff from Theo John. One more look. Pretty.
Marquette by 16. Trying to close this one out. They have gotten quite a battle from Green Bay, but if not for the efforts of Kobe McEwen in the second half, 28 points on 10 of 15 shooting from the field.
Well, in the game-deciding run to this point, it was Kobe McEwen with those 10 straight points. And his judgments, it's not just the 28 points, but good decisions. The quality of his shots have improved. He's not forcing. He's not shooting the ball with elbows down his tonsils or wet towels draped on him in terms of defenders. But instead, the good choices are leading to higher percentages in terms of his shooting.
He has hit some good-looking threes as well. And I should clarify, so 28 points is his Marquette high. He did score 32 in a game 2 years ago at Utah State. So he's still 4 shy of matching the career high. And that 3 is an air ball.
You look at the numbers here, Kevin. 9 points for Carton, 8 for Cain, 28 for McEwen, 15 for Garcia, 8 for John. That speaks to the balance. They've got 7 players, 8 players capable of getting double figures on any night. And they've got 3 or 4 players capable of getting 30 points as opposed to last year. Such a different story with Howard.
It's a complete 180 compared to how things were structured offensively a year ago. Late in the shot clock, Garcia tried to hunt for his own shot. Kane couldn't stick the putback home. And here comes Pipes.
But this is the best personnel that Steve Wojciechowski has had during his time at Marquette. There's balance in the classes, balance of an inside-outside approach. There's balance across the board, defensively and offensively as well. And don't get me wrong, he's had some nice teams and some good personnel. But this group is the best yet.
Jefferson misses. Kirchhamon taps it back. Foul on McEwen. This is what it's looked like tonight. The production, or this season I should say, the production has been spread. Lewis, the freshman, 11 a game. Kane and McEwen, the seniors. Garcia, the McDonald's All-American. There it is. You've got a couple of upperclassmen and a couple of freshmen all scoring in double figures. You know, Creighton and Villanova, of course, receiving the attention, and deservedly so. Is it a stretch to say, is Marquette their top challenger? Who is it in the Big East this year?
Well, if Marquette stays injury-free and just continues a progression of improvement, both offensively and defensively, they'll have an opportunity to contend for a Big East championship. The key is how much better do they get over the course of the season, and difficult to do with the disruption, the interruption, and the uncertainty, the unknown, given the pandemic.
Garcia back at the line. A chance for more.
I like their team's bearing. They seem to like one another. They seem to be selfless in terms of enjoying one another's success. I don't see the selfishness that sometimes you'll see when you have great personnel, because they have strong personnel, but their mindset, and that's a credit to Coach Wojciechowski and his staff in terms of shaping the mindset and building a culture that they want to be sustainable for year after year. But you need to start somewhere, and this group has a chance to be special.
They're like a perfectly structured band. No egos?
I'd love it. A big band, too, because they have depth. Bo Ryan would appreciate that, right? The swing offense. Part of that was the appreciation for larger orchestras, larger bands. Duke Ellington, Benny Goodman as the leaders of those bands.
Can I get your favorite? Not
Glenn
just
Miller.
Not just solo artists. How about the best bands, according to Steve Lavin?
Well, I'm old school, so I love the Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, LTD, the Isley Brothers. I enjoyed, vocalists, Elton John, Jim Croce. I had a little range. I like jazz. I like bossa nova. I like some classical music as well. Love Sinatra. Jack Jones, I think underrated in my view as a vocalist.
Davis drives in. Well, tonight it has been sweet music for Marquette, offensively, especially in half number 2, behind Kobe McEwen's Marquette high of 28 points on 10 of 16 shooting. The Eagles improve to 4-1.
And like Al Jarreau, all his music in sync, right? We're in love together, his other beauties. You asked for it, so I'm giving you
Bruce Springsteen.
the musical list.
You got some
Yeah,
okay.
Rolling Stones.
I had to check on that one. Marquette a winner by 14. More post-game coverage and we return. It's a nice night for that man, Kobe McEwen in Milwaukee. Marquette a winner tonight by 14. Eventually outshoot a pretty feisty Phoenix team with Steve Lavin, Kevin Fitzgerald with you, and now we have the MVP of tonight's game, Toronto's finest. It's Kobe McEwen. He went for 28 That is a new Marquette high. Kobe, thanks for joining us. So, take me back to a portion of the second half. I don't know if you remember this, but you scored at one point 10 straight points for your team. When did you start to feel it that you were getting hot?
I was just playing the game. I was just letting stuff come to me. Coach kept running plays for me, and not just for me, but just to like set up my teammates and everything. But the floor started to open up. I wasn't hesitant, and I took the shots that were there, and they happened to go in this time.
Kobe, impressive too. 4 assists and 0 miscues, 0 turnovers. So your judgment, your decision making was on display, as well as being able to knock down shots in a variety of ways. Take us back to the win over Wisconsin through the preparation for today's game. What was the collective mindset, what the staff was emphasizing coming off that big win?
After we won that game, we had to move on to the next game. No matter how much the game meant to us, how big of a win it was against the number 4 team in the country. They're a great team. We were coming against guys who play with a lot of offensive freedom and play with no conscience, and they shoot it whenever they want. And sometimes that's hard to guard. And we had to respect our opponent, no matter what the name on the jersey was. And we're playing to a standard of Marquette. We're not playing to our opponents or anything like that. We're playing to a standard, and that was what the coaches were preaching. That was what our seniors were preaching to our guys the whole time we were preparing. We got to keep the standard of play, and we can't fall too low. We got to hold ourselves to it. So.
Along those lines, in my view, just now having called 4 your games, you're the most improved team defensively that I've seen. And what has led to your improved defense? The numbers bear that out in terms of your rankings in the Big East, number 1 in every important defensive category. So what's happened from last year to this season to lead to that great defense?
Wojo, he was saying that he came right when the summer started. He said we are a defense and a rebounding team, and he just left it at that. That's what we are. And if our offense will come, throughout the season, but if we take care of defense, it will lead to easy offensive buckets. And it took our guys to buy into that. We got to buy into that, and we all bought in. And we know that if we play defense in this league, we have a good shot of winning a lot of games. And our seniors were preaching that too, since those were the guys who played multiple years in the Big East. Defense wins in every league, and that's what we try to improve on every single day.
Well, it's clearly evident already. Kobe, last one. I'm sitting next to the very musically refined Steve Lavin. Apparently, you are as well. You're a big reggae music fan. What's on the pregame playlist before tonight?
Tonight, I wasn't listening to reggae, but that kind of chills me out. I'll probably be asleep when I come out of here. But pre-game playlists, I'll probably listen to like a lot of Meek Mill, a lot of Drake. Just kind of hype stuff to get me going. A lot of young generation stuff that you guys probably don't listen to.
Well, Steve will be listening to that for the next 9 o'clock game. Kobe, appreciate the time tonight, my friend, and excellent work. 28 points, a new Marquette high.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It was a fine night for McEwen. And boy, how about you discussed it with him. The identity of this team, it's starting to take shape, isn't it?
Well, it's a group that's playing in a cohesive manner. And within a game, you'll see their selflessness in terms of probing and trying to find ways to score and playing through the hot hand. That's intelligent basketball. And again, the depth at Coach Wojciechowski's disposal, so impressive. 6 or 7 players capable of getting double figures, and there's 3 or 4 players capable of getting 30 points in a given game. And that means they've got the depth that allow them to compete in the Big East tournament. Big East Conference, that is.
Now a 4-1 record for Marquette. We'll close it out when we come back. Marquette, the winner tonight in Milwaukee.
5G just got real. iPhone 12 Pro Max and iPhone 12 Mini are here on Verizon 5G with the coverage of 5G nationwide and in more
in the Fox Sports app.
Marquette now 4-1 after taking care of Green Bay this evening in Milwaukee, and the road only gets tougher. One more non-conference game for the Golden Eagles. That is on the road against Mick Cronin's UCLA Bruins, and then conference play begins in 6 days.
Well, the old adage, defense travels, and we've seen firsthand, but also the numbers back it up. They are the most improved defensive team in the country, and that gives them an opportunity to be in every game and a chance to win.
Really limited Green Bay in the second half defensively, no question. A fun one tonight for Marquette. A complete game behind Kobe McEwen's 28. Steve Wojciechowski's club is now 4-1. For Steve Levin, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald saying so long. Have a good night from Milwaukee.